Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it is Saturday BOLO Day. We give you a quick rundown of some of the items that sold over the last week, why they sold and what they sold for, and give you a little bit of story behind them. Try to make it a little bit of fun as you're out there sourcing. And here Mr. Fun himself is, Mr. Magazine.
All right, here we go. I didn't start selling these until I put them on sale, but they're still going for about $40 to $50.
Oh!
Go WKBW 1520 Radio Magazine. This is issue 89 from 1967. Tom Jones, Eric Clapton, $45.50. I guess this was a Christmas issue that my lister didn't think was important to note, but any which way, I don't know if there's other magazines like this around the country from local radio.
Well, it's funny you put that up because guess what? I literally have 3 of sitting in a bin over there.
Not goes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I absolutely do. I picked them up. I haven't gotten around to listing them yet. I will change what I price them for now that I know that's what they go for. See, this is paying off for me.
And I'm wondering I'm sure there's better singers in here somewhere that they would have picked other than Tom Jones, because he kind of puts me to sleep. But hey, what do I know? Eric Clapton's not too bad.
It's not unusual.
All right, moving on. It's football season. 1985 Seahawks jersey. 1980 Largent. His name is Steve Largent, in case anyone's wondering.
He was also in Congress, if anyone was wondering.
Mitchell Ness, and this went for $72, which you can't argue. I'm sure I didn't pay anywhere near that. But again, sports jerseys, if you're at any type of a sale and you can get them for $10, $20, usually worth picking them up, especially the vintage ones.
He was also drafted by the Houston Oilers, if anyone's wondering.
I know I wasn't, but hey.
Is there, at one point, wasn't there a lot of problems with jerseys, Mitchell Ness specifically?
Yeah, I want to say almost 10 years ago, I think someone stole a whole 18-wheeler with tens of thousands of the jerseys, and then they were flooding the eBay market. So then they were stopping the sale unless you were a registered Mitchell Ness dealer. However, over time, I think they must have maybe weathered the storm, sold what they could sell off that, and eBay allows you to at this point right now. So,
okay.
And if it's used, I think they have no issues with the used ones. It still may be new. I'm not sure or not, but and who knows if the Chinese knocked these off or not either. I don't know, but they've been allowing us to sell them, so I haven't had any issues.
Okay.
Yep. So pick up jerseys, especially during football season. Next up, Hot Wheels 164 scale 1976 GMC Motorhome Orange Black Wall. This one, I think, went for close to $20 on this. I think I might have had it for $30 on sale and so forth. But again,
it looks like nothing.
It's not rare. I've had them when I was a kid. This particular, I think there's a green one. There's different versions and colors. So, but again, if this is at a sale, you're going to pay $1 or $2 for it.
Yeah, or any luck, you buy a whole bunch of them for cheap.
Definitely. Next up, New York Post, October 24, 1999. New York Yankees Game 1 World Series. Definitely, these are out there. They sell for about $20. I had mine on sale. We got 50% off, but it still sold for close to $20. I probably paid a few bucks for them, but they are out there to sell.
And you're going to find a fair number of those because, at least up by us, because there are a lot of Yankees fans up there. And the Post and Daily News, people buy them at we have a local store that used to sell them, so they're out there.
And don't make the mistake that my listers always do. Maybe mention Derek Jeter, Joe Torre, anything like that. Can't hurt the sale. So next up, New York Magazine, The Muppets Take Manhattan. This one went kind of cheap. I had this on sale again with our big sale, but again, they did not want to put Miss Piggy in the title, and maybe it would have sold for more or quicker than how many years this was? 4 years ago.
Right, and that's one of the things is a lot of times you look back on things that were listed and you go, oh, why wasn't that listed? Why wasn't that listed that way? Yep.
Yeah, Miss Piggy is,
Santa.
Mrs. Claus or whatever.
Yeah, Miss Piggy Santa Claus.
I can't believe you think she looks like a man. Next up, vintage World War II U.S. Navy sailor cap, hat, green, black intact. Doesn't look like much, but still I got 20 out of it. I'm sure these are out there as well. This isn't our specialty, but
no, not at all.
My lister did throw it up there, and again, when I get stuff like this, I don't pay a lot because I don't know what it's worth, and it sits around for a while.
Right, and I think that's one of the keys too. One of the things we've always said in our videos is you'll do best buying paper from a glass dealer. You'll do well buying things like this from a magazine dealer because he didn't pay a lot for it. You're not going to go out of your way. It may have been a throw in some other collection or some other cool stuff in there. A guy brought some toys and had that as part of it.
Sure. Yeah.
To you, that's gravy. You don't care if that's worth $50 or $100.
Exactly, yep.
It's not worth the time for you having your people all research everything like that.
True.
You got $20 out of it, and you probably paid for half the stuff that you bought in that collection.
Again, they did a good listing, a bunch of pictures, but it probably didn't help too much. Wouldn't have made a difference 2 pictures or 6. But again, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And last up for me, Jetfire Transformers Generation 1 Vintage 1985 figure, $140. So we must have had this high at $280. Had a sale, but again, if you look at it, it's not an original box. It's yellowed, and we still got almost $150 for it. So, and these are out there. It was a popular. I believe this was one of the rare Decepticons that looks like a Autobot. It's an airplane, but he was the good airplane, not the bad one. So he's a rare one.
It's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, he doesn't have the red eyes like the Decepticons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It is more than meets the eye.
It's been a while since I was a kid, but yeah, I think that's the gist of it.
Now, the G1, is that standard for how they note that?
Gen 1,
or
G1.
do they say, okay, they do say G1. See, and I wouldn't know that. Yep. Alrighty, the first wonderful item that Paperboy has up here. Grand Ole Opry picture album, souvenir program, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley. Put it up for auction, and this is why we start everything at auction. Ended up getting 7 bids on it and going for $78, so cannot argue with that.
Can't believe you listed that in 1988.
Well, yes, exactly. Put a lot of pictures in there as well. For some reason I used Elvis Presley over Homer and Jethro, but what do I know? Carl Perkins and so on. So great little item over here.
What year was that?
It didn't say the year on it, but it's undated, but it's late 1950s or early 1960s, and it is 16 pages. Up next, this every once in a while, I laugh about a sale. Now, this did take 12 years to sell. New York State Income Tax Instructions Form 201 from 1948. Back when $2 shipping would have been enough shipping on that.
Wow.
That's how long ago I listed that.
Well, I thought you meant 1948.
Take a guess why I laughed when I sold this, Mr. Magazine.
Oh, gosh.
Who do you think would have bought something like this?
You.
Well, all right, yes, I bought it for myself, and then I got banned for shill bidding.
An auditor.
It sold internationally.
Wow.
I'm not certain why. Maybe the guy ran away from the state in '48 and he wants to come back.
Yeah.
He's been hiding out in Guadalajara since 1948.
That was his form. He lost it.
He needs to fill his taxes out.
Wow.
I have no idea why someone internationally bought that, but they did, and it just goes to show you never know who's going to buy something. Up next, Andrew Jackson, Message on Commencement of 22nd Congress booklet. When I say a booklet, it actually was removed from a book back in the day. They would have had a bound volume done of a whole bunch of these different types of things. But I got like $25 out of it. It was like 7 or 8 pages from a book. So can't argue with that. It is from 1832, so that is a nice old item. But you can find things like that out there and don't walk by them. This is what I'm going to call a Whatnot special, because I put it up on Whatnot for $3. Tried to give free money away. Got laughed at, so I had to sell it myself and make the money. Covered Wagon, May 1947, Shasta County, California Historical Society. And the crazy thing about it is it's sold in under a week. It went up for auction. It didn't sell, but then after it went into the store, it sold in under a week out of the store.
Wow.
So what does that tell you about coming and buying my Whatnot auctions, Mr. Magazine?
They don't know what they're doing.
There's a lot of money out there for them. Up next, a new method of learning the French language. Jean-Gustave Kittel's, $62.10. That took a little while to sell. It had been up for a while, and somebody contacted me and said, can you put some pictures up? And I said, at some point, I'm really busy. I do apologize, because I had a lot going on.
Sure.
They asked the second time about a month later, hey, have you had any chance to get those pictures up? I said, it was a slow eBay sales day. I didn't have a lot of stuff to find. So I said, all right. So originally I had the first 2 pictures up.
Now, were they looking for condition or information in the book?
Information.
Sometimes I will ask them, like, what are you looking for?
Well, they had said they'd want to know what the inside was to see if it was something they'd be interested in or not. Okay. I put the pictures up. I said, yeah, I put the extra pictures up. They bought it immediately and sent me an email and said, that is absolutely perfect. It's going to make a great Christmas gift.
Oh, very cool.
So when you don't have time, you can't do that, and you're not really set up to do that generally. For once, it paid off.
Cool.
Up next, if I can find the mouse, Brown Brothers Company Continental Nurseries 1909 catalog from Stecker with Stecker lithographs in it. I mean, it is just a beautiful book in here. I think I took a $100 offer on it. I mean, that is really, really nice looking on that.
How many pages or how many prints?
It's missing the FFE and tears in paper. 104 pages, loaded with lithographs.
Cool.
So you'll see something rather like this out there. Pick it up if it looks really, really nice like this, just because somebody will want to buy it. I had no idea what to price it at, and I ended up getting a $100 offer, and I said, yeah, I'd rather have $100 in my pocket than this sitting in a box somewhere.
Cool.
Up next, do you know what the Hickok belt is?
I certainly do.
So do I. It was a belt
Yes, it was.
given out every year to the premier sports star of the prior year per the company, which was the Hickok Company up here in Rochester, New York. And they actually had lots and lots of big stars come into Rochester annually for the award ceremony. This was the dinner program from it from 1971 with Brooks Robinson and Irving Crane, who played pool. Put it up for $28, and it did get the bid on it. One important thing to do when you do find things like this, in pretty much every community has some kind of charity dinner that brings stars in. They just all do. Check them for autographs. There were no autographs in this, but check them for autographs. Sometimes you'd be surprised. You can end up finding 2 or 3 items that are signed that nobody knew were signed, and then you can get more money out of that as well. And there's really very little reason to doubt the authenticity of a signed piece like that. I mean, obviously, do your due diligence and check against other signatures online, but the person was there. They had the program there.
Exactly.
It probably got signed there. And finally, Army versus Harvard, Boston College versus Idaho, 1940 Copley Plaza ad booklet. Went for $32. And this is pretty much the entire thing.
Wow.
It opens up. And dinner and supper dancing. Because sometimes you want to dance after dinner and sometimes you want to dance after supper. $32 for something rather like that. You cannot argue with that whatsoever. Paperweight delivers. I've read that somewhere. But you just never know what you can find out there. This is a very, very small piece as well. Just opens up to get $32 for something out of that. Very, very happy about that. So I want to thank everybody. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.